So anyway, we are going to get started on our recipe for tonight, and our featured recipe is air fryer beignets. So always loving baking and cooking. This is obviously fascinating to me, and the fact that it's all shortcuts is especially what I love. So this will come together really quick. So the first thing I did was the cooking oven that we're going to use is the air fryer. So your chef actually had an air fryer for like the last 5 or 6 years, and it was great, but they've taken a lot of feedback about what people really want in an air fryer, toaster oven. So they've actually totally redesigned this air fryer and oven, which is 2-in-1. And
they have?
Yeah.
Because I'm on my second paper chef air fryer, so
oh my gosh, yes, you
but
did.
the one just kind of did something weird and but
yeah.
I love that thing.
Yeah, so it's been.
I use it for a toaster, you name it, I use it.
Oh, cool.
Dehydrated for venison, yeah.
Awesome. So I think you'll really love this one. Not to be disloyal to your original, but so this one, deluxe air fryer and oven, it's pretty new. I've just had it for a few months, but I keep falling more and more in love with it. So it's 2 totally different cooking vessels. The top is a toaster oven and the bottom is an air fryer. So you know how a lot of times when you're making dinner, you'll have 2 different cooking methods, like say roast veggies and air fried chicken or something along those lines. The coolest thing, this is like a smart machine. You can put, you know how it's tricky to get everything done at the exact same time so it's hot at the same time? You can put in your top and bottom ingredients, and there's a sync button. You hit sync and the machine knows how to finish them at the exact time for you. So yeah, so it's the coolest thing. And the other thing I've really loved about it, loving baking and being impatient, it's so fast. So when the first time I tried making cookies, they usually take like 12-13 minutes normally. They were done in like 7 minutes. So it's like that convection, your forced air, so it's making things happen a lot faster. So anyway, there's a whole, every electric comes with a cooking guide that kind of walks you through. It can be a little intimidating, but it'll walk you through all the different features. So Cindy, like you were saying, it does have those same features. Dehydrate, keep warm. There's a super cool setting that's warm, heat and crisp. So it'll cook through, say, your breaded chicken, and at the very end it gives it a blast of air to crisp up the outside, so you get like that fully heated and baked gently, but then at the very end it crisps it up. So it is like a smart machine, and I love anything that takes any of the mental space away and just does it for you. You just hit a button. So that is our featured cooking vessel, and it is actually preheated because we just started it right before we hopped on here. And so what we're going to do for our recipe is take our just refrigerated biscuits. So this is 8 biscuits and it's 16 ounces. So you want to make sure you have the right amount with the right weight. And I just got the 2-pack, the grands. They're a little cheaper that way. And I'm not necessarily going to do all 8. I'm just going to show a smaller version. But you separate them, and then you take each one and you're going to kind of split it in half. And they're kind of layered, so it's pretty easy. So you just split it in half. And we'll just do that with each one. And I'm just going to do a few of them here. So this is where if you have a little helper, normally if I do a sweet recipe, Lindsay's right here to help me. She must have been tied up tonight. But you can have a helper do this. And then, once they're all split in half, we're going to move along. And what we're going to do is roll these out just a little bit. And we're going to be using this super fun new tool called the Hand Pie and Pocket Maker. So this is just a little tool, and it's 3 parts. There's a top and bottom, and then there's a little spoon that comes right with it. It's a tablespoon. So you're able to do you know, like the empanadas or the calzones where it's the pizza pockets where it's the dough filled around it and then pressed. So you can do your circles, like little pies, or what we're gonna do today is half pies. So I'll show you. And this is actually there's a new kids club we have where they get a box with a tool and 3 fun little step-by-step recipes and a seasoning. And it's a kid-friendly recipe. So this is something that is in the kids club if you know have any little kids in your life. They're fun. So we're going to make sure we use flour because it will stick on us if we don't. And my oven, if I let it preheat too long, it'll stop on me again. So I'm just gonna I'm gonna let it preheat again. So I like to take a mat to work on, and I like to use these flexible cutting mats because you can kind of lift and just move them around real easy. And we're gonna take and flour this just a bit. So I just have some flour. This is actually the silicone prep bowl set. So these guys are really nice to have because you can kind of pour and squeeze, and you can actually microwave in these. And they also have the little measure marks. So if you're doing like heating milk or melting butter. So we're just going to sprinkle a little flour, and then we're going to roll each little circle into about 4-inch circle. And this is the baker's roller. This is nice to have if you're a dough person, if you do anything with dough or pies. Because what's nice is you can actually roll straight in your pan. You don't have to roll and then lift the dough. And this is for more detailed or little corner edges. So I like that you don't have to move the dough around because that can be tricky. And then another little tool, if you're ever working with dough like this, that I found invaluable is using a bench scraper. So sometimes this can be a little sticky, but you use the bench scraper and it's real easy to lift up. So what's going to happen here is we're going to take this bottom part of the hand pie maker, lay this in here. Hopefully you guys can see clearly there. And then we're going to use that little spoon that came with it. And this is semi-sweet chocolate chips. So these are going to be filled with chocolate. So a tablespoon, and then you just put it on the 1/2. And then this is where it gets fun. You just fold and press. And then you have your perfect little dough pocket there. And what we're going to end up doing is having these laid out on our air fryer tray. So that air fryer comes with 2 of these mesh trays. And we do just want to oil this a little before we use it. So I am going to use the oil spritzer. So this guy you can use your own oil, and it doesn't have that aerosol. So we just pump, and then I actually need to do this away a little bit and spritz that. You probably can't see it, but there's a little spray coming out. Okay. So I'll just set that off to the side and set our dough as we go on here. And then we just move right along. And we'll if you do the full roll, you'll have 16 of these. So you actually kind of need a crowd for these, or at least a few really hungry people. So what's fun to picture is all of the different things you could do with this hand pie and pocket maker, the sweet or savory. And I know I like the empanadas that have more of like a pie crust and then like a savory filling. So we just press and fold. You can pinch it pretty good. There's these little handles on here. And one little side point is make sure you flour this first. there's like 3 steps to remember, and inevitably we forget one of them. So what I did was I took just a flat tray, and you just make sure you flour this before you fold and trim. So let's try it with flour, see how easy it goes. So we're just going to sprinkle a little more flour. And you can kind of picture how fun this would be, showing your little kids how to do this, or grandkids, or your friends. So you just roll this out to about 4 inches, and this is about 4 inches, so you have an idea. And then your tablespoon of chocolate chips. And then fold and press. And it comes out much nicer when you flour it. So I'm just going to do maybe just a couple more, and we'll throw these in the oven. And I am going to make sure I have it preheated the right amount of time here. There's like 8 different settings for you. There's like a reheat setting, air fry, convection bake. So if you just need that space for an oven in the bottom, you can use that air fryer space just as a regular oven too. You just hit the convection bake, and you can do it on a more gentle baking setting, which has been saving me because we don't really do too much with air conditioning. So not having to turn on the big oven has been a lifesaver for the summer. Cindy, does it get pretty hot up where you are too?
Actually, this summer has been warm up here on the mountain, which is unusual. We had some 80-degree days.
So more than
Something like
usual?
that. But like usually right now, our nights are in the high 50s.
Oh my
and it gets
gosh.
about 72 in the day.
Oh, that is cool. I didn't realize it was.
It's gorgeous.
Wow.
And the humidity's not really that high. So today might have gotten up to 74, 75. It was wild though, because at the beginning it was like 83, 84. And one day I think, yeah, it just about hit 90, which is unusual for us here.
Wow. That's almost
Yeah,
like
and we don't do air conditioning either.
well, I mean, if that's all it is, you'd hardly need it. But that is
Yeah.
like the mountain weather,
It's beautiful.
like the Rocky Mountain weather, high altitude.
We're fairly high, so it's nice. It's the only place I figured out, like where we came from before, they would let you know how many inches of snow you're going to have
Yeah.
depending on the dividing line of the highway. Up here, it depends on your altitude. So you have to know what altitude you're at, then you're not going to know how much snow you're going to get.
Oh, interesting. Yeah, I
It's
mean,
fun.
I guess it varies so much.
Oh, yeah, we can drive 1.5 miles in no snow.
Oh,
Like, go down the mountain and like, it's like, oh, well, yeah, no snow.
I guess that's good. If you need to get away, you can easy enough.
Yeah, I live on a dirt road, so it's kind of
Gotcha.
interesting. Yeah.
I remember my brother lived in a place in Oregon, kind of up on a hill, mountain, and right where he was, it was always raining, like every day. And
Oh.
he said, don't worry, if we drive down into town, it'll be sunny and clear. And it was.
Oh my gosh.
Okay, so we're just going to do these 4 just to get a little idea here. So the oven is preheated, and when it is preheated, it says add food on there. I'm going to wipe the flour off my hands just a little bit, and then we'll hit the start button, and it's going to count down 12 minutes. So you can do 2 racks of food in there. It actually holds quite a bit of food. So I'm just, 5 seconds left. We're at good timing. we're gonna pull out these hot beignets with my safety gloves here. I had never had oven gloves like this before, and
I like those gloves too. That's really cool.
yeah, I did not realize how nice it was, and I was a little leery, like, does that really work? But they've been good.
Yeah.
And I just need to make sure I have a heat-proof surface here. So I have some melted butter set aside. And let's just take tongs. So of course we have the best tongs. You can pinch them so that they stay clamped in your drawer and they don't flap around, or you just drop them open. These are so pretty, and like, you saw how much work I did to get those crimped edges. So I have a little plate here we'll use to plate these. And just two last super fun steps. So you're going to take the melted butter and then brush it on top of each of these. So this is the silicone brush, and I absolutely love this whenever you're doing your egg washes or brushing butter or olive oil, because you can actually get it clean. With it being that silicone, it's not like the bristles. I do this, if you're into baking, you've probably seen we're doing an egg wash, or I think it is usually egg wash. It gives your baked goods that beautiful shine that makes them look professional. So that's that secret. One of the secrets of making it look like $1,000,000. So now that they're covered in melted butter, we're gonna move on to cinnamon sugar. So Cindy, I realize this might not go along with your health, but what I found, the healthy eating, but what I found is there's substitutes to almost everything. So you could probably find your own.
I could take that and flip it.
Yeah, you could do your einkorn pie dough, and you could do your sugar substitute.
Yeah, I can use a baking blend
There you
to
go.
make the biscuits.
So this is just
With like
cinnamon.
your almond flour, your cassava flour.
Oh, okay.
Those type of things. Yeah, yeah, and then I would use a xylitol or allulose for the sugars.
Okay, I did monk fruit a lot, I know.
Yeah.
So covered in cinnamon and sugar. And then that's what I love about spices, like cinnamon. You don't have to worry about diet or calories with those. Go freely with your.
Cinnamon is excellent for blood sugar.
Yeah, I don't know if I don't think I knew that specifically, but I know
Yeah, I put
spices.
that in my shakes.
Oh, okay, that's a good
Yeah,
idea.
Ceylon cinnamon. It's just incredible for blood
Okay,
sugar.
I've heard of that, yeah.
Yeah.
All right, so these are the,
So yummy.
yes, churro chocolate air fryer beignets.
Oh,
And then we always have to do just a little taste test just to make sure these are okay here. And I'll probably, hopefully they're melty hot in the middle. And this is the only drawback of not having the party in person. But what I do is I email you the recipe so that you can totally recreate this. And this is super easy. So I'm just looking at
awesome.
the melted
Oh, that
chocolate.
looks incredible.
Yeah.
Mm.
Chocolate and cinnamon, yes.
Oh, yeah.
And it was heavy ratio of cinnamon to sugar. It was a 1/4 cup of sugar and 2 teaspoons of cinnamon. And you have to do these when they're hot too. So that is it. Like I said, I'll email you everything.